You just got your DMP Mercedes screen, you're trying to get it set up, you need some help. We're about to dive into it today. We put chapters throughout this video because there's lots of different connections and settings that we're gonna go through to make sure it's 100% running the way it should be. So you can skip through these chapters to make your life easier. However, I will say the problems could be sequential. So if you skip the problem number 3 without solving problem number 1, you may not ever be able to get a solution to problem number 3. So make sure you go through each one, at least make sure that you have it working the way it should, and then you can continue on as you go. My name is Alex at Accessories International. We're in Miami, Florida, here in the United States. We sell the screens, we do the support, and we use them in our own cars every single day. Let's troubleshoot. So when you first get into your screen, this is what your home page is going to look like. You go ahead and start by clicking the car info icon. This is what takes you to your original Mercedes interface. So this menu is going to look identical to what it used to look like on your OEM screen. You need to make sure that this looks just like it used to. You don't want it to be cut off. You don't want it to be black. You don't want it to say no signal. If you don't see it properly, the most common reason, number 1, the power is just turned off. So if your Mercedes radio is turned off, you're going to get no display. It's just dark. So make sure that you actually have power to your Mercedes-Benz radio. That's number 1. Number 2, this will also apply if your screen says parameter error. You might have a setting that's not properly configured. So we'll go home, we'll go to settings. You scroll down, you have this factory option, passcode 190627. From there, you're going to scroll down to vehicle display. So for NTG 4045 model, you want to make sure you're going to be on number 20. That's NTG 800 by 480. That's going to be the standard for 4045 models. However, there are a couple of other options. So if that's not working for you, you can go through the 40 options that we have listed here and see which one may work for you. When you're in this screen choosing different options, you'll actually get the results of whether it's a failure or a success. So you want to try and see until you do have that success option. For NTG 50 systems and newer, you're going to go to CAN protocol. You should be preset to NTG 50, but your vehicle may be a 51. So if you're already on 50, just go ahead and switch that CAN protocol setting to 51. And if you're on 51, do the opposite. Set yourself to 50 and test it. Now, a quick and easy way to test which NTG your original Mercedes radio actually is, once you have that new CAN protocol setting set, go ahead and adjust the air conditioning fan speed on your Mercedes radio. You can lower or raise the fan speed or the temperature, and on the screen you should have a little pop-up menu that comes up from the bottom of the screen that's indicating the change that you just made, showing what the fan speed is, showing what the temperature is set to. If this is showing up, that means the screen is properly reading your car's CAN function and is basically communicating with your OEM system properly, so we know we have the correct settings set. Once you have the correct settings set, you can go back to the car info icon to go to the original Mercedes interface and double check to make sure everything is properly displaying. And of course, if you bought the screen through us, you can always give us a call and we can help you narrow that down directly. Issue number 3 that we commonly see when you go to your car info, you don't have a display here, your LVDS cable. That's the original display cable that comes out of the back of your original Mercedes radio. If that's not disconnected and transferred to the new Android harness, you're not going to get any display on the new screen. So you need to make sure that cable was properly transferred. For NTG 50 systems and newer, for C-Class specifically, the LVDS connector in your screen will look different. You will have the LVDS that goes from the original screen to the back of the brand new screen. There is no need to run that connector to a harness. It's just going to plug straight there. Next up, we're going to make sure that you have sound out of the original Mercedes stereo as well as the Android screen. So we'll go ahead and go into our car info icon. Again, you need to make sure that this is fully displaying. If you don't have your Mercedes display showing properly, you need to go back to our previous step, step 1. That needs to be solved before you can continue here. Once you have this display open, we're going to use our command knob. Remember that your original Mercedes screen is not a touch screen, so we got to use our knob. You can move your command knob up and down and rotate it, and it should function identically to how it used to on the OEM screen. But if you're having issues with this, you'll need to get this fixed first so that you can actually navigate through this OEM menu. The most common thing that we see when you're disassembling this whole center console area, there's connections on the bottom of the knob. You need to make sure that the connections are plugged back in correctly. If something has come loose or was left disconnected, you may not get function out of the knob anymore. And the second most common reason, there are 2 white-headed connectors located within the Android harness. Those connectors need to be properly plugged into each other to ensure that you have full compatibility from your knob on the new display. There will be 3 connectors. One is labeled as an NTG40, another one is labeled as NTG45, and another one is labeled as NTG40/45. If you have a 4.0 system, the 4.0/45 connector label needs to be plugged into the 4.0 label. If you have a 4.5/4.7 system, then the 4.0/45 label needs to be connected to the 4.5 label. Once you have the knob properly working, you can now proceed to the next step. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and select the audio option we have here, and we're gonna click FM AM radio. You need to make sure that you actually have sound out of your original Mercedes stereo. So if you do not have sound here, make sure your volume is turned up. If you cannot hear it, that means that your fiber cable was not properly transferred from your original Mercedes harness to your new Android harness. That's done during the installation. It's the small orange cable that comes out of the corner of your OEM harness that then gets transferred to your Android harness. Even if you think you properly transferred it, it's very common for us to see that the cable just has a bad contact. It came loose. So I would suggest pulling out the harness, plugging the harness back in, and plugging that fiber cable as well. You need to get a click sound from that fiber cable. It really needs to go in there. I've also seen the clip mechanism break before, where people have to kind of actually manually push it in. So just make sure that that connection is good, because that's going to be the only thing responsible here during your installation process that we commonly see for you not getting any OEM sound. And if you don't have OEM sound, you're never going to be able to get Android sound. So that is first and foremost. Make sure you have audio from the OEM side. Once we have that resolved, then you can confirm that you have audio from the OEM side. And we're going to open up that audio option again, and we're going to go down to our aux selection. We'll go ahead and select aux. Now on the NTG50 menus and newer, your interface is gonna look different. So when you go to select your audio source, you're gonna go up into media. You're gonna select media once, and then you'll select media a second time so that it opens up the rotating menu where you can go through all of the different audio source modes. You wanna rotate that menu until you find media interface number 1 or media interface number 2. And from there, once you have your car in aux, you can click one of these generic icons that are saved. HD video is what I typically like to use, and it's going to start playing a generic media file that comes preloaded on the screen. Turn your volume up, see if you can hear it. If you can hear it, great, you're good to go. If you cannot hear this, the first thing I want to check is inside of your center console where your AMI input is. That's going to be that big long rectangular input. And in your kit, we include an AMI adapter to a 3.5mm adapter. So that's basically going to be the adapter that plugs into your AMI input in your vehicle, typically located in your center console, or on some models it could also be in the glove box. Again, that just looks like a big rectangular long connector. You want to make sure that you connect that adapter cord that we include. And on the other end of that adapter cable, you have that 3.5mm female end, and you're going to run the audio out cable from the Android harness to that 3.5mm female. And that's basically how your screen is going to talk to your Mercedes radio to give you audio. So double check that that connection is properly made, because if you do not have it connected, again, you're not going to get audio. We include an adapter in your kit that has a male USB on one end, and then on the other end is going to be this rectangular box with a little 3.5mm jack on this end. So what you're going to do, there's an audio out cable that's tied into the wiring harness of the Android screen. It's got this 90-degree 3.5mm audio out cable. So you're going to run this cable through your center console into the hole on that adapter and have it plugged in, and then the USB is going to plug into either media interface number 1 or 2. You have 2 USBs, and the USB cable is going to plug into one of the 2 USBs you have inside of that center console storage box. You can choose. You have 2 in there. If you plug it into the first one, then you need to have your Mercedes menu set to media interface 1. If you plug it into the second USB, you need to have your Mercedes radio set to media interface 2. That's how the screen will talk to that connection that you've just made. It's through those media interface modes. So make sure your vehicle is set to the correct media interface mode. Going back to our car info icon here, we're gonna open up our audio options. And now you can think of this as essentially adding a new audio source to your Mercedes radio. So before the screen, you have your FM, you have your disc mode, you have your Bluetooth mode, you have multiple different audio source modes you can put your car in. Now we've basically taken the aux mode of your car and changed that into the Android mode. So every time you want to hear any audio from the Android system, you need to make sure that you have the car set to aux. If you ever change the car out of this aux mode and then you go back to the Android system and you try playing music, a video, CarPlay, whatever it is, you're not going to get any audio. So if you press your radio button here, it switches you to radio, and now you're going to be hearing radio, but if you go back to Android, you're not going to get any audio. So very important to keep in mind, we need to keep our car in aux mode here. Now if you have the car in aux mode, you have the connection made, and you're still not getting audio, maybe you come back to this OEM interface here, and you're checking to see you left your car in aux mode, but now all of a sudden the mode has switched to a different option here. That's going to be an auto switch setting that we need to configure properly. So what we do, count from the left to the right, this top navigation bar here. So starting from Navi, that's number 1, audio is number 2. So you need to take note of what number audio is, counting from left to right. From some people it may be 3 or 4, in our case it's number 2. Now once I select audio, now we need to count what number aux is from top to bottom. So counting from the top, we have FM AM, that's number 1, disc is number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we know aux is our 7th option from top to bottom. Again, this may be different for your vehicle, so just count from top to bottom. So now we know we have number 2 for audio and number 7 for aux. Once we have that noted, we're going to go ahead and tap on our screen. We're going to go to our settings. We're going to go up to system. Then we're going to look for aux settings. Once we select our aux settings, you'll scroll down a little bit and you'll see that you have these 2 options, aux 1 and aux 2. So aux 1 you need to set in the same position that your audio selection was from left to right. So in our case that was number 2. And then aux number 2 here you need to set to the same position that your aux selection was, counting from top to bottom on that drop down menu. So in our case that's number 7. So we got 2 and 7. Now going back, we'll go back to our car info, we'll make sure that we put it back in aux. And now we can go ahead and test the audio again, and it should stay in your aux mode. It shouldn't be switching you out of this mode and jumping into different modes. Next up, we're gonna go through some of the common settings that we like to switch when we first set the car up. So number 1 is gonna be the reverse camera. If you open up your settings, this will be your main menu that you get to. You'll see if you select system, you have reversing settings here. Go ahead and select that, scroll down, and if you're using your original car camera, make sure it's just set to original camera. The default may be on aftermarket. Once we have original camera selected, we'll put the car into reverse and make sure that your rear view camera is properly displaying. If you set the setting correctly to original camera and you put your car in reverse and you're still not seeing anything, you need to double check your car info menu and make sure that you actually see your menu here. This is covered in step 1 of this video. So if you are having issues with that and you go back to this car info and you don't have it, just go back to the first step of the video where we address this problem. After that, going in systems, we'll scroll down through these settings. I do like to go to display settings and set my brightness up to how I like it personally, if you want it max brightness or a bit lower. Unit settings, I like to set everything to imperial. So here from metric, we change to imperial. Here we'll put gallons, and the temperature units we'll set to Fahrenheit. Then we'll hit the top right back arrow so we can get back to the main settings here. On your volume, you can adjust your media. You can play with this and kind of fine tune it to how you'd like. Going to sound, you can do the same between your bass and your treble, your alto. Your time, we like to set to car time, so it will be synced up to whatever your Mercedes-Benz radio is currently on. I personally like our 12-hour rather than our 24-hour military style time. Going to the Android settings here, if you do want to connect to internet, you would do that here through the Android settings. You'll see you have this internet setting here. You can turn on your Wi-Fi, connect to whatever network device you're going to be using. And then going into factory, a few tweaks. Passcode is 190627. Once you get to the vehicle setting of the factory, you'll scroll down until you find switching between external and internal microphones. You need to have this set to external microphone. And in the harness of your screen, there is a mic in and mic out connector. You need to make sure that those are plugged into each other so that the screen can use the original Mercedes-Benz microphone during your phone calls. And now we're gonna get our Bluetooth set up. So we'll go ahead and click on our Bluetooth phone. This is gonna allow us to get our CarPlay and Android Auto going. So you'll see it does pick up phones, and on the actual phone that you're gonna be pairing, you'll go into your Bluetooth settings. So you'll look for the new Bluetooth connection, which will be GT7. You'll go ahead and select that. And then it's gonna give you a pairing request to which you can hit pair and allow these prompts. Now, once the pairing request is completed, you'll see on the screen it starts to connect. We get another prompt here to connect to CarPlay, which we'll hit connect. Continue. And now our CarPlay has started. So from here, if you have followed all the previous steps of this video and you have your audio properly working, you should be able to play a song directly from your phone, and it will go ahead and start playing through your car's speakers. If you're having issues connecting your phone to CarPlay or Android Auto, I'd like you to simply go ahead and find the GT7 that we just paired to. You might notice that it says not connected on our screen. This is normal. CarPlay basically talks to the phone through a combination of both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. So as long as you have the CarPlay screen here with your phone's information properly displaying, you don't need to worry about what this is saying in this moment, because it's probably just using Wi-Fi to actually talk to the screen. But if you're having issues pulling it up or pairing it, it's not properly displaying, what you should do is go ahead and find this GT7 connection. You'll hit this blue information icon and we'll simply hit forget this device. We're going to completely erase the Bluetooth from the phone. Now we'll go ahead and restart the phone before we pair back up. We'll turn the phone off, and with the phone off, we're also going to go to our screen. We'll get back to our home page, swipe down once, swipe down a second time, look for this reboot button, maybe it says restart. Go ahead and select that and we'll hit sure. We're going to allow both of the devices to reboot, and then we're going to do that process again from scratch, basically pairing up the phone again and allowing all of the prompts, granting permission so that your phone can properly sync up to CarPlay or Android Auto. That's a full setup and troubleshooting guide for your new DMP Android command screen. Again, my name is Alex at Accessories International. We sell the screens, we use them in our own cars, and we troubleshoot them every single day. If you're interested in a screen, you can call us or go to our website. We have them all listed online. As always, thanks again for tuning in. We hope this video was helpful for you. We'll see you next time.